on, guys? We're about to do a super low fade. This is a little kid haircut, so not a whole lot of room to work. So this is an important one for you guys to watch. I'm gonna show you guys how to pack this fade really tight. We're gonna start off with a bald guideline. You guys can see I'm kind of starting at the hair that goes around the top of his ear. If you pretend you were edging that up and then just drop it in the front and drop it around the back, we're gonna do it super low. So we're gonna take this low in the back and just barely above the ear. We'll bald it out with our slim lines and then come in with our shaver before we start the fade. Alright, so we're going to go in and do our open section. This is a cordless Wahl Senior with the Philthy mod, so this is the Andis blade. You guys can see we're doing about a 1/2 inch guideline. He's not very old yet, so his head isn't really big. He has a very little surface area. You guys can see we have about 1.5 inches to pack this blend into. So it's very important that we do our guideline small and stay very precise as we do this blend. So we're going to go ahead and do the open section, then we'll close the clipper up and start to work the bottom line out. You guys can see I'm going to use my slim lines. The Andis blade closed isn't very close, so I'm going to start off with my slim lines, and then we'll do our clipper closed above that, and then in the middle of that section we'll have the clipper halfway open. You guys can see really precise, very small strokes. We're just going to start to work this blend together. So you guys see I'm going to go ahead and work the front out. I closed it up, now I open it halfway and get the rest of that line out. You guys can see above his ear it's a lot lighter, so that's going to blend much easier, and the back and the front in front of the ear is going to be a little bit more difficult. So again, clipper closed at the bottom, clipper halfway open, halfway into the section, and then we'll work our way up from there. Now we'll come in with the open one guard. This is on the Wahl Cordless Senior. We're gonna do another small section. You guys can see how small that is. And then when we come in and work that out, we have to be very precise because we don't wanna raise this fade up. So you guys can barely see this section. There's a line between the open clipper and the open one. So we will close that clipper up and start to work that line out. And again, guys, the teeth of the guard are longer than the cutting teeth. So I'm gonna take the teeth of the guard all the way to the top of that section, and the cutting teeth will be right below that. Working with the corner of the blade so we don't mess up our blend. We want it to drop in the back and up over the ear. So I'll work it closed, and anything that's left, we'll come back with a half guard and work the rest of that line out. So you can see the half guard here. It's halfway open, and we're just gonna work the rest of that line out until this is blended nice. Then we'll work our way up from there. Now we'll come in with a 2-guard closed, and we're going to flick into the hair that's above it. So we don't want to leave a guideline, we're just wanting to blend right into that hair on top. All we should have left is the line that the 1.5 will take out. And because we packed this so tight, once we establish our fade, we're going to work our way back down and clean up any spots that are left. So we're going in with this 2, we shouldn't see a guideline. Now we'll come in with our 1.5, and it is half open as well, and it should lighten up the rest of this. We should have a pretty decent fade when we get done with this. Then we'll be able to just polish and work our way back down through the guards until we're happy with it. And you guys can see him. He's about falling out of the chair right now. I was trying to do this video and keep his head centered, but he really works his way. You know, when I'm pushing on his head, I think he's getting tired. You guys will see here in a little bit. And he just kind of works his way over to one side, and then I'll pick him back up when I switch guards. So we go in and edge up this C-cup, get it nice and sharp, and we will polish that up later when we do the rest of the edge up. Alright, we're going on this other side. We'll do the same steps. You guys can follow along. Like I said, guys, this is really important that you pay attention on this cut to how tight we're doing these sections. It's really disciplined, 1/2 inch sections, making sure that we're cutting with what we're supposed to be using, where we're supposed to be using it. So once you guys get outside of that, you're really going to start to lose your fade. So we're going to do our open section, then we're going to do it closed at the bottom of the section, half open in the middle of the section. Every guard we're going to work the same way. We're going to cut exactly where we want to be with the guard that we have on, and that should give us a good end product. My guy here and his brothers are running around. They're some of my favorite clients. They're a heck of a bunch of athletes. I promise one of these guys, or maybe all of them, we will see them later in the future playing definitely some college sports, definitely potential to go pro maybe. These guys win every tournament. They do travel ball, super talented, fast, just some very skilled athletes. So I'm super excited to see where they go when they grow up. And they all have pretty nice hair. So Boog right here is what we call him. He definitely gets probably my favorite haircut out of all of them. His hair just blends very well. Like I said, this is a very difficult haircut to do, and you guys will see it's going to turn out real nice. So I cut it before when I had the different camera angle, but not near as detailed. Of course, I didn't do a voiceover on that, so I wanted to bring you guys a voiceover and try to teach you guys, how I do this haircut, how I keep it so tight. And that's one of the things that's really going to differentiate as you try to get better as a barber, is the discipline to cut with what you're trying to cut only in the spot that you're supposed to be. We tend to get going and we just start throwing that clipper everywhere, and next thing you know, that blends all over the place. So if you really trust your system, use what you're supposed to use, where you're supposed to use it, then you can polish later once it's finished and cause less damage. But when we're putting this in, we really want to be accurate and make sure that we're putting it right where we want it. Alright, we're going to go in and finish the back, same steps as before, and I'm in front of half of this, so our super time lapsed it so we can get through it. But real quick, I just want to thank you guys, all of you guys that watch these videos. If you guys watch them all the way through and leave comments and do all that, it has helped the channel grow so much. I appreciate all you guys. If you guys didn't know, we just did the 5K giveaway. I gave away a power mat. The response to the live stream was great, and so I decided that every Monday night at 7 o'clock, that's Central Time, so if you're Eastern, that would be at 8 o'clock Eastern. And then if you're all the way West Coast, that would be at 5 o'clock on the West Coast. So I'll be doing a live stream every week on Monday. You guys get on there, we'll just chop it up. You guys can ask me anything you want. Talk about clippers, talk about different techniques or business stuff, whatever you guys want. But make sure you have the notifications turned on, have your bell turned on so that you get notified when I go live. That way you guys can get on there and chop it up with me. I really enjoy that, more of a personal answering questions as they're asked. I can really help answer stuff that you guys want to know that it's harder for me to do during a voiceover or a tutorial, because I really have only the client that's in the video to work off of. And so if you guys want to hop on those, like I said, Monday night 7 o'clock Central, that's 8 o'clock on the East Coast and 5 o'clock on the West Coast. So you guys tune in, come in there, ask me some questions, just chop it up, see what we're up to, and I appreciate you guys hopping on there. So I look forward to doing those. We're finishing up this cut. You guys can see it's coming together. The back of the head's always going to be harder, guys. You're going to have those dark indentations. You guys can see, if you really look at his neck, it has an indentation in the middle. So of course you can't see anything right now, but you guys can see how dark it is. I really have to use the corner of the clipper to get up in there and make sure we get it all nice and even. And I'm going to add real quick, guys, if you saw the Wish clipper video, my next video dropping is going to be a haircut using the black Kimmy clipper that was in the video, the one that resembles the Babyliss FX. So if you guys were curious on how that's going to turn out and how that clipper cuts, I do have a haircut coming out. That will come out Sunday, so make sure you guys are subscribed and have the notifications on. You guys will know as soon as it drops and you guys can check it out. I had a lot of feedback on that video. A lot of people wanted to see how it cut, so I got it coming soon. So we'll go in here with the curl sponge, curl his hair back up. There's one of his crazy brothers right there. I just love these kids. They're crazy. They come in there. They just love coming in the barbershop. But guys, we're going to use some hair fibers. He wanted his hairline a little extra crispy, and I said, man, we're doing a video. We'll make it crispy. So I'm just going to dust the hair fibers on, and now we'll go in with my skeletons. These are my custom painted skeletons, and we'll get them a sharp edge up, and you guys can check out the end result. He doesn't have a super sharp edge. being his age, it hasn't grown in all the way full yet. You really want to be careful about pushing that back to get a sharp line. His brothers all kind of have the same hair, so I like to do fibers or something if we really want to get it sharp for a picture. I don't want to go way up into his hairline and cut that, because that can cause problems with it as he gets older with growing back and making sure he has a full hairline. So that's something I'm always cautious about. I don't want to push people back, but I want to give them a sharp edge up. So spray a little fibers and you guys can see what that does. So we just dust the fibers, edge it up, and then the rest that's left on the forehead, we'll just go in with our trimmer and cut that off of his forehead. That'll leave the fibers in his hairline and leave it nice and sharp. Alright, here's the before. You guys can see he was a little grown in, looking crazy and curly. And there you guys go. There's the end result. I'm super happy with it. I love cutting his hair. It's super blurry, cuts super nice. So hope this was helpful, guys. If you liked the video, hit that thumbs up. Like I said, make sure you subscribe so you can get on those live streams and all the content that I have coming out. I appreciate you guys, and I'll catch you next time.